What's up, y'all? Cameron here from Pro Bell Hitting. Today we are going to be talking about what a player on the LSU Tigers from the national championship team on 2023 did to make sure he stayed calm so his physical could show up and he could hit bombs at the World Series. Let's go. Before we start, make sure you smash that subscribe and like so you can see everything we got going on. Support the channel so we can keep doing more for you. Y'all remember that 2023 LSU Baseball World Championship team? Them dudes were pretty good. So there's this guy named Kate Pelosa. You'll probably remember him, that big old strong left-handed guy. He had a really cool quote during their journey in the World Series that I think is super important for us to understand. And it's a complete mindset shift that can really help us flip things on their head and make sure that we enjoy things and aren't intimidated by things. Because a lot of times I feel like during the games, we allow the pressure of the game to dictate what we get from the game. So this thing that he talked about is super, super important. Let's take a look.
It's just like the whole concept like behind like have to versus get to. Like you don't have to come through in those moments. Like you get to be in those moments. And that's the thing that kind of puts me at peace, especially like when the game's at its highest and stuff like that.
Have to versus get to. Huge shift in our mentality and everything that we do. So when it comes to baseball mental training or mental approach or thinking or mental it's really important for us to understand that there is a place where things come from. It's like an origination spot. So think like a seed of a tree, okay? A big old tree that you have in your front yard or backyard right now came from a little seed, okay? That seed is what produced other things. That seed is what made the root system, the apples, the pecans, or whatever it is. So in our mind, our thoughts, our actions, they all come from a place. They come from something that controls what we do. They come from something that we learned or we this or we that. So the get to versus have to gets pretty deep down into our brain, and it shifts our mentality from, oh my gosh, I have to produce, I have to do this, I have to, as opposed to, man, I get to. This is awesome. I'm going to do this. That's completely different than I have to. I have to is like a straitjacket, right? Or something that's suffocating, a constrictor, a boa constrictor. But get to puts us in a posture of appreciation. It's like, think about it. If you're in a championship game, whether it's 12U, National Championship, World Series, there aren't very many people that get to be in that situation. Even within baseball, there's not that many that get to do that. It's pretty stinking cool to be in that situation and know I'm good enough to be in this situation and be in this moment. I get to be in this moment, not I have to produce perfect, right? You see how that like the have to is like, and the get to is like, all right, man, I appreciate this moment. This is dope. For those of y'all that are a little bit younger, like, bro, like, listen, like, your career's gonna be over at some point. You're gonna remember those moments that you had, even if you failed. You're gonna remember those because it's so cool to be in that situation. It's so cool to be hanging out. It's so cool to be in that because you have it and then it's not there anymore, right? Like, for example, like my kids, I've got to be in the room and help my wife have both of my kids, and I will remember every part of that forever. I got to be a part of that. I got to be in that. I got to do that. So cool, right? Same thing as like when you go to a wedding or when you go to a graduation or all the stuff really isn't that cool. You go to a wedding, man, it all sounds the same. People say very similar stuff. You do the same thing. You go to a reception, and you have dinner, and then you talk, and it's all the same. But you get to be in that moment. And when we move from have to get to, it's a lot different. So in whatever you're facing, whatever your opportunities are, whatever they are, try to look at it as, okay, instead of I have to produce, it's I get the opportunity to do this. And you know what? Even if you fail, come on with it. Come on with it. Who cares? Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, he missed a lot of shots. He missed a lot of game-winning shots too. He remembers those, but which ones do you remember? You remember the ones he made, okay? So listen to this clip about him talking about that from there.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
The opportunities that you have right now where you're at are super cool and they're super unique. Don't miss it because you're suffocating yourself with needing perfect production, perfect results. Don't miss it, man. That is, you talk to ex-big leaguers, ex-pros, ex-anything. You know what they talk about the most is their teammates and the competition and the road trips and the opportunities and the things they got to do because they were. All of those things are opportunities. It's not just Game 7. Most people don't get to play in a Game 7. Most people don't even get to be in the playoffs. It doesn't happen. It's special. It's super important for us to look at it as I get to versus I have to. You will produce if you are in enough situations and enough opportunities, especially if you look at it like a gift that somebody gives you on Christmas. Look at it as I get to, not I have to. And that won't be easy because there are so many things that go with it. But if you're willing to put in the work and rewire how you think about things, the get to will help you produce more than the have to will scare you into producing. You got this. Go get it. Keep grinding, y'all. This is Cameron with Propel Hitting. Keep going, keep growing, embrace it so you can make it.